The other day I was working on this ridge for the Ninjago platform. Like that goes up along the Ninjago platform and heads toward the amusement park. This is sort of like on the foundation of the Ninjago platform. And I discovered that I might have got a little bit aggressive here and bringing this too close. There's not enough like space or depth to bring it up the vertical height that it needs to go, because this still needs to come up another 5 bricks. And even here, I just wanted to make this a round corner, but I should have maybe kept it further away so we had more depth to work with in that vertical space. Now there's a lot of details that I need to add to the area, such as trees and other vegetation, slopes, just to get rid of this blocky effect, water, of course, because there's water up here, so there should be water coming down, waterfalls, and I think that makes sense. Also, a lot of people want me to build a cave. So I think today in this video, I'm gonna try and build a cave in here. Maybe make this some sort of cavern, like inside. That makes sense? I think so. I think that'd be pretty neat. Right? Like sort of have a cave in there somewhere. Oh my gosh, that was uncanny. I didn't know I was going to do that, but there you go. Judo chop! Oh, that was strong. I built that like a bowl. That's pretty strong. But yeah, this needs to be fixed up as well. It shouldn't come that far out, so. Build, destroy, repeat, that's all right. We can very easily just slide this forward and shorten this corner a bit, making more space for the cave there and also giving us more depth to accommodate that height. Oh no, what have I done? That escalated quickly, didn't it? It's funny how fast it comes apart. Like literally a minute and you just destroy it all and it takes you hours to build. That's all right though. So I pretty much just wiped out everything here and everything here. Just clean slate there. I think like this comes out there. So what I'll do is I'm gonna have this come out and connect here. And that's gonna give us space to create a cave all in here. Makes a lot more sense to have it as one solid piece, although it is a very weird piece, isn't it? So after merging it, once again, I laid that base foundation for the hill. I think the cave entrance is going to be elevated. I think that will make it more interesting. And now I've started framing the cave floor. I figured I may as well do a subfloor because we've got all these colorful bricks and I don't want to substitute those all for dark gray. And I think it's just going to be easier to build up like another Mills platform using some of the larger plate, and it can be used to support the hill or mountain walls after as well, because we'll be able to build up off of that there. Now I think I want to mix in some different styles. For the most part, for my mountains I've just been using brick and slopes, and of course you could do it with snot bricks as well, but you need a plethora of snot bricks and a plethora of curved slopes to do that in large quantities. That's one of the reasons why I haven't been doing that, just because you need so many of them, and why I have one section that looks completely different than the other section. But maybe I can mess around with some of that in the interior here. And I've created this like curved wall here using ball joints connected on the back, and maybe I can build a curved wall in the inside, and of course I can plaster these plates here with curved slopes and regular slopes, and maybe have like a curved wall inside. That might be cool. And then build up all on the ground here, have different heights, and then also do some of the brick building inside as well. I don't want to use like a crazy amount of parts inside the cave, even though I'm going to, because I have to, but I feel like all of these details are just going to be concealed within the cave, you know what I mean? Like if I go ahead and put 100 curved slopes on here or 200 curved slopes there and build up the walls using hundreds and hundreds of bricks, and then I just put a top on it, and the only way you see those details is when I remove the top to look inside, or I guess I just know they're in there. But either way, I think it'll be worth it in the end because it's a cool detail to have. It's the perfect combination right here, folks. Game's about to start. Before we continue with today's build, I wanted to let you know about my next Whatnot stream. Thank you so much, Whatnot, for sponsoring this video. The stream is going down on December 31st, starting at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. That's right, New Year's Eve. During that stream, I'm going to be auctioning off all of these epic sets and a ton of these minifigures starting at $1. Also, I'm going to be giving away a DeLorean. And if you win the giveaway, I cover the international shipping affiliated. If you're not on Whatnot, you can join using my affiliate link. And when you join using that link, you're going to get a $15 credit, which can be redeemed on your first purchase. Check out this auction item. It is a Daily Bugle upgrade kit. There are 2.5 Daily Bugles in this bin. And I'm going to be auctioning that off starting at only $1. That is an insane item, and there's a lot of other insane items on this table as well, like Johnny 5 and a train station. If you're looking to sell your collectibles, I would highly recommend checking out Whatnot, and you can join using the same link down below. It's a great way to display or advertise your products to thousands of buyers who might be interested in your amazing collectibles. All right, let's get back to the build, and I hope to see you there on December 31st. I started brick building up here, up along that curved wall. I finished the subfloor and started brick building up here as well. Now for the back, I thought maybe I'll just do it with the studs not on top technique as well. So the curved wall is 10 studs tall. This is 8 studs tall, so we'll have some variation in the ceiling height, whatever you want to call it, I guess, cave height. And I mounted all those together using the 1x2x2 and 2/3 snot bricks, one on the bottom, one on the top, and those are separated by 3 bricks, 1 plate, and then I attached them all on the bottom with some 1x plates, and this would provide a back wall for the cave. So if you're a regular viewer of my videos, well, thank you so much. You probably know that I do a couple different styles of videos, actually more than a couple, but sometimes I time-lapse myself making big modules like this. And I actually time-lapse the first 2 versions of me building this mountain here. But sometimes it's a little more difficult to do that because you don't really, or I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just sort of building off the fly, and therefore it takes a little bit longer, and I'm up and down grabbing parts a billion times and trying to figure out what I'm doing. And I build, destroy, repeat over and over again until I come up with something that looks pretty cool. Now, something that's giving me a little bit of a hard time here is trying to figure out how I'm going to top this cave and how I'm going to have that top be removable. I want this to be like its own module that can be removed so that when I build the details inside, I can actually get in there and see those details rather than peeping through like the little cave entrance that I built with the inverted slopes. So what I decided to do was build a Technic top. And this is really strong because we have these Technic 1x bricks bridging across, and then we have the rectangular Technic pieces in the center connecting, and there's blue pins going through all 3 Technic pieces in some of these areas, and then there's black pins connecting it where it's only 2 studs wide, and then you can see there's a big beam right here, and it bridges across and goes over here because the snot brick panels or pillars on the back here, of course, go up to the height of the plate, so it's flush. So what I was able to do was actually run 2x plate all the way across, and in this case I just had to use 2-ply to get it to the right height so that it matches on the other side, and then I could put these across. But how am I going to build it so that I can remove this Technic structure? Like, it's not hard to remove. I can peel it off like so, but how am I going to add the upper rock panels to this and be able to remove this huge Technic piece as one big solid thing, because this is going to be like a giant mountain so that we can actually see in there. Of course, I could go through and like jumper it and tile it and all that, but it's just such a big piece. Of course, jumpers, tiles, all that different type of stuff is going to be the solution. But other than that, I built this all up here. This looks pretty symmetrical and whatever, blocky right now, but when I get in there with different shapes and sizes of slopes, we'll be able to fix that. And this is all built up as well. We've got the top there. So now I just need to figure out how I'm going to build this panel that's going to connect these two panels, and then I need to add the interior details as well. But I figured I may as well figure out how to do the top before adding interior details, because of course there's all just studs in there. But either way, it's a pretty cool cave already. Like, it's already coming along quite nicely. I'm a different type of Lego YouTuber. I sort of walk through the process as I'm building it, and I'm really just building everything off the top of my head. There's other channels that will like sit down for 3-4 days and they'll like build this highly polished, detailed cave, and that whole rock edge, for example, the whole like area underneath Ninjago would be all done, and then they would feature the end result and sort of walk through the whole process of what they did, whereas I'm sort of sharing the experience day by day with you. I sort of like doing it this way. I feel like it's a fun process, and also includes you in the process of like, what am I going to do with this big Technic thing, and how am I going to top it, and how are we going to execute the next section, you know, just sort of walk you through the process, because that's what's going through my mind. So I want to share it with you. But I think I've actually come up with a pretty cool solution here. So what I decided to do was frame the entire Technic structure with brick, and then I tiled off the entire surface. And then I actually put tiles on the points of contact where the Technic frame sits, other than right here and right here. So we have 2 different points of contact, one on either side. So now all I have to do is just pop this off and pop this off, and then I'm able to remove the structure. I could get rid of those points of contact if it becomes too difficult to remove once I actually have the mountain built on top. But I think that's pretty cool, because now it's just going to slot in place, and it has guides and then just 2 points of contact. So I think that's going to work. All right, I feel like it's mission accomplished, everybody. A modular mountain with a cave. This plate, though, is just huge. It looks all right from the front side, but of course, it's not near completion yet. But I think once it's dressed up, like once we dress it up with some more stuff, it's going to look pretty cool. But the back side, let me tell you, it is sort of funny to look at. How am I going to move this thing? Hopefully I can place it in the city. I didn't think of that. It's 4 base plates wide. My access holes are only 3.5. Okay, that'll be interesting. But you can see the support work on the backside there. I haven't really tested if I can pick it up yet. So there we go. And the upper portion of the ridge is removable, so we can gain access to that cave. Of course, I haven't put interior details in there, so that is important. All I have to do is just sort of grab it by the rock panels, or those colorful bricks on the backside, and we can just lift it right out like that. So we've got the cave modules, or the module covering the cave, and some bricks that need to be pushed down. But you can see that this here actually goes the full height of the platform and behind it. You'll see that when we place it in this video, which is 14 bricks. And to put it back, I could probably create some sort of handle back here, I guess, to make it a little easier, but it just sort of slots into place. And I did remove the pieces where it actually tacked down, because it just sits there. Gravity just sort of holds it in place, and it's locked in place because it has all of those different grooves. So I think that was, for this, I think this is pretty cool. I love the fact that you can just remove it. I think that's a must, because you want to get in there and see all those cave details, right? So that's cool. But one thing I haven't done all day is tried to place it back in its place in the Lego City, and just to like test fit it to make sure that it actually fits. Here's a quick up-close shot of everything. First off the back, this has been sort of Frankenstein because I've rebuilt it 3 times, so it's sort of sketch. It's pretty solid though, like it could take a full-on judo chop, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I'll have to go through and make sure all this stuff is pressed down. Sometimes when you're like destroying and you build through it, and then you're like, oh no, there's a brick way down here that's going to be hard to push down. But it doesn't really, you know, offset anything. It's going to be fine. And when I go through and add details and everything, I usually go through and push on all those just to make sure they're rock solid. Then we've got our removable module on the back here. Like this is still removable, this wall. So when I go to detail that, I can still just pop this whole thing out. You can see it wiggles like a tooth there. And the rounded section here can be removed as well. So that's still modular. The only parts that can't be removed is the front wall there. And then the rock faces on the front look pretty good. Still pretty steep in some areas, but you can see I've actually taken 2x2 bricks in some areas just and built them up to provide an example of how I can decrease or increase the grade. No, decrease the grade, even if I use 1x2x2 panels and build up in some areas, and I can build up on these flat walls. So then when I add the slopes, I've got more studs to work with. So that's no problem because I can build up anywhere. Like I can come in here and add more bricks to round this out a little bit more, whatever it may be. So that's very easy to fix once we're in the detail phase. And then we have the giant removable module here. Built it with bricks and also some rock panels mixed in there. And once we slope it all, you'll barely be able to see those rock panels. In fact, you can barely see that that is a corner one there. And there's another corner one there too, because they just get blent right in. And I can flip this thing upside down. It's pretty solid, like it's nunchuck solid. Oh, maybe not. Just make sure not to smash it, I guess. And then the Technic on the bottom. And I actually reinforced all the seams. Like you'll see, like this is floating here. But of course, when I flip it back this side, you'll see the 2x bricks on all the seams, just reinforcing it on the backside. Doesn't look pretty on the backside, that's for sure, but it doesn't really matter what it looks like on the backside. That's why I just use all the random pieces in my inventory. This was nothing major. Where did these come from? I don't even know. Anywhere. But yeah, it's pretty rock solid. I'm pretty happy with that. And I love the fact that it's modular. I think that's a bonus. To be honest with you, I wasn't really worried about placing it at all. Just got to angle it a little bit and wedge it through our access points. Yeah, this looks pretty sweet. I'm digging that. I'm glad that there was no rude awakenings this time when we went to place it. The other day I base plated up top here. So what I have to do is make sure that this is centered, because this here is 5 base plates wide. You got 2 there, 1 there, and then 2 more here. And the total width of the table is 7 base plates. That means we have 1 base plate on either side. So the math of it should work out perfectly that these go like butt up against it. Although, did I go over by a stud there? It doesn't really matter because it's going to go over it. I actually cut this platform a little bit short, so the mills will just hang over. But we can address that when I actually get around to mountain building. I love the fact that it's modular. Like, that's so cool. We can actually get in and see the details once they're in there. And I think the cave cutout is pretty cool. I'm going to come through here and probably throw some snot bricks in and more like inverted slopes and slopes everywhere. And we can add more texture around the entrance. And then that like ninja trail that I'm going to build, the trail that's going to go up here, can also branch off and go here and go up to the cave. And then we can put sort of vegetation hanging over the entrance maybe, and maybe eventually I'll put a little light in there, because then you can actually see it. You know, you can see inside, but you can't see the entire interior. You can see the curve there. You can see those panels, but you can't see all of this stuff over here. So it's neat knowing that there's going to be a bunch of interior details concealed within the cave. And of course, waterfalls and stuff coming down. There'll probably be like a little pool of water in there, maybe like an ice thing. When I went caving when I was younger, and scouts went to this really cool cave in the Rocky Mountains, and there was like this big ice pillar in the center of it. It was super neat. But yeah, there we go, everybody. We built a cave. I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for the suggestions in the comment section. That goes a long way and inspires me to build a pretty cool cave. I hope you like the execution of it so far. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and have yourselves a fantastic day. Bye for now.